بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Our program Spirit of Values. This is Dr. Tariq Rashid. We'll continue in this episode what we have started in the previous episode about negotiation. Let's start with what we call barriers of negotiation. It's not easy to go negotiation without barriers. Sometimes we have physical barriers, some we have system barriers, attitude barriers, emotional barriers, and gender barriers. The ability to manage and control and deal with all these barriers is very important in settling negotiation issues. So physical barriers could be due to the environment. So for example, there is noise, the channel is not well defined, so physical barriers. Sometimes the system barriers. We don't have exact procedures, policies, we are not conducting a certain objectives for the agenda, so this is a system barrier. Some people always aggressive, so the attitude is very aggressive, and in such a case, it's a barrier that will prevent receiving the message. Emotional barriers. Some people are very, very sensitive, so they might give up easily in negotiation. We have to master emotional intelligence, which we mentioned in a previous episode. Sometimes gender barriers will affect the negotiation. Culture barrier is also could affect the process of negotiation. So how we can overcome barriers? Always make sure you receive and give feedback. Make sure that have you understood me? You are asking for a feedback and always give feedback. Whenever feedback is there, the process of communication is in the correct procedure. Always use repetition to ensure some points. Well, I shall also remember you with so and so. We are here, for example, to reach a settlement. Use repetition. Repetition, by this you are assuring the message in communicating your message in negotiation. Use empathy with people. Don't be just rigid and very tough. So always emotional aspects should be managed for the situation. And in such a case, we need emotional intelligence in people who are negotiating in the team. Time is a very crucial factor. Those who are very strict in time, and the time for them is a crucial factor, they will lose in negotiation. The people who are relaxed in timing, they will govern and manage the negotiation. So check yourself with the time in negotiation. If you are very stressed with time, don't negotiate. Don't negotiate. You should have some sort of flexibility in your time in order that you can go through negotiation. But if you are tight in time, you will lose and you will accept some deals that you don't approve later. Select the best location and medium. And we will discuss further what locations we suggest for negotiation. There are several locations we can go for negotiation, and always please document. Document whatever we agreed on in negotiation. Some organizations may not document and they will not be sure of what have been said. So always check written communication in any negotiation situation. By this you will reserve your rights for the future. And again, it's a team. So how can we choose the team for negotiation? Let's go deeply and discuss the situation in negotiation. They say always that everyone negotiates, even kids negotiate. Everyone we can negotiate with. With time and patience, things will go, and by this we have to be patient whenever we have a situation for negotiation, especially in very difficult negotiation situation. Being patient will help you to gain, and just to remind you, we are there for win-win situation. Everyone, yes, kids negotiate with their parents, and by default, kids are excellent negotiators. But they lose this when they enter the school. So you'll find a kid with his mother, please mom, can you buy me this? No. Then he, This, no. The other one, no. Then he starts crying, she will buy. Kids are professional negotiators by default. Students with their teachers. Wives and husbands negotiate. Employees with employers. Companies, countries. So it starts from a lower level to a country level. Anyone needs negotiation. And they always said that the most skill you practice daily is negotiation. How? Even you have self-negotiation. Shall I go from this track to my work or this track? You are negotiating an option. So negotiation is a skill to be mastered by everyone by understanding the whole process of negotiation. So remember, you negotiate with people. They have emotions, they have values, they have motivators, they have fears, they have desires. You are not negotiating with machines. We have to respect the culture, the value, the opinion of others if we want to reach a settlement in negotiation. Remember, they are people. We are not there to argue for something. It's clear for you that it is losing. You may not understand their words, but we have to relate to their feelings. Because of this, they said, body language is a master skill we have to understand in negotiation. To negotiate, maintain a person-centered approach, which means read the whole person with the four perspectives of people. And remember that people are spiritual. So they have spirit, and they have minds, and they have hearts, and they are facing you with bodies. So this is the whole centered approach. We are negotiating with spiritual people. They have minds, they have ideas, they have values and emotions, and they are reacting. So remember this whenever you are in a negotiation situation. Why do we negotiate? In what case we need negotiation? Well, as I mentioned, life is not so easy. Sometimes we have problems. Lots of problems sometimes we are facing with our colleagues, our partners. So we need negotiation to reach a settlement. So first, to create something in you that satisfies me and satisfies the other party. Because of this, we go through negotiation. If you want to live alone in life, you will never be able to live without mastering negotiating. We need others. We need people. So also, whenever we have a conflict, whenever we have a dispute, whenever we have a problem, negotiation will help us to resolve the problems, the disputes between two parties. What are the main characteristics of a negotiation situation? First, we have two or more parties are involved in order to reach a settlement. Although we have self-negotiation, but also self-negotiation is two parties. You are discussing with yourself a certain situation. Interpersonal, in families, this is a negotiation situation. In organizations, even with other organizations, even with other cultures. So negotiation is a large-scale process. Always in negotiation, there is a conflict of interest. We are trying to resolve the conflict. This is negotiation, resolving conflict between parties, between countries, to reach a settlement. Win-win situation is the idea. We will get a better deal. This is the concept in negotiation, and give and take, please. Give and take. If you insist on always taking, you will never find someone or some other parties to negotiate with. These are the characteristics of a negotiation situation. But always you should negotiate? No. There are situations we recommend never negotiate. What do you think? Situations never you go to negotiate. First, when you would lose and you are sure you are losing, don't negotiate. Keep it. If you are sure that you will lose with this party, why to negotiate? So just neglect and don't go for negotiation when you are sure that you will lose. Also, when the demand is unethical, never negotiate when ethics are threatened. So if someone For example, employee with another one, so, well, I give you so and so money, but please give me the secrets of your organization. This is not negotiation. Whenever ethics is threatened, never negotiate. We are value people. We should be always, this is a program of values, spirit of values. So don't negotiate when things are unethical. When you don't care, don't negotiate. Because you go for negotiation, you care for winning and giving the other party a chance to win. So if you don't care, don't negotiate. And when you don't have time, please never go when time is crucial. You will be stressed, you will lose. So when you don't have time, don't negotiate. And also when they act in a bad faith, just give up and get out of any negotiation when you feel the other party is acting in a bad faith. And when waiting would improve your situation, wait. Don't negotiate. If you think waiting will give you more chance to win, so just waiting in such a case would improve your situation. So there are some situations that we do not recommend that you should negotiate. In other situations, we have to go through negotiation. And a very important situation, if you are not prepared, never negotiate. And they always said, in order to win in negotiation, you have to prepare, you have to plan. And failure to plan and prepare, you are planning and preparing for your failure. It's a situation that needs care, needs emotions, needs whole body, centered approach, needs everything in order you go for a win-win situation. And there is always a dilemma in negotiation, honesty and trust. Let me ask the following question. How much to tell the other party? And to remind you with Johari window. Shall I be open from the first beginning of negotiation? How much to tell them? And how much should I believe from what they are saying? A very crucial questions in negotiation, honesty and trust. So how much to tell them? This depends on how much you trust them. If you don't trust, never be open. We start step by step. I will give so and so if they proceed and give so and so. So honesty is a very crucial factor in negotiation. If you don't trust them, never go for negotiation. If you don't trust. Once you trust, you should be honest, but also not opening too much. We proceed step by step. These are always a negotiation dilemma. And they always said, before entering a negotiation situation, keep yes and no outside the room. Keep yes and no. Because if you say yes, then the situation needs no, you cannot get back. And if you say no, and turns out to be yes, so always remember, yes and no, keep it outside the meeting room, keep it outside the negotiation, because if it is yes, it's very difficult for you to get back to no. So whenever you want to check it is a yes, make sure it's really yes. And whenever you want to say no, this is the final answer, it's no. So these are always negotiation dilemma, honesty and trust between parties. There are also critical factors to consider whenever you are in negotiation. Remember, we are different in our interest. So we are trying to reach a settlement to close our interests together in order we negotiate. So we are different in our interest, we are different in our opinions in a subject matter, we are even different in risk acceptance. The party who can accept higher risk will win in negotiation. The party who cannot risk will always be slow in negotiation, and also difference in time preference. The team or the party that is free and flexible with the time, this is a sign of winning. The team who is actually crucial and the factor of time is stressing them, they will lose in negotiation. So we are different, but at the end, these differences should reach a settlement between the two parties. Why? Because of this, we negotiate. But this is critical factors always to concentrate. And remember to defeat the problem, not to defeat each other. The goal is not to kill the other party, but to achieve an agreement. Because of this, I'm in negotiation. Also, win-win is the idea. Whenever you feel that you are losing and not satisfying win-win, just stop negotiation and get outside the room of negotiation. It's a win-win mentality, Both parties should believe in this. Otherwise, they may use you, they may abuse you to change your situation. This is not negotiation whenever you feel that you are losing. Do everything you can to understand the other party. And just as I started, seek first to understand, then to be understood, which means listen deeply first, then speak. And the party who listens more will govern more in negotiation. The greatest remedy for anger is to delay. Once you feel you are angry or stressed, don't continue negotiation. For sure, if you negotiate when you are angry, you are losing 100%. So when you feel that you are angry, just stop negotiating, relax, get out of the room, because in anger, the remedy is to stop everything and delay negotiation. عليه الصلاة والسلام أوصني لا تغضب أوصني لا تغضب لا تغضب. Don't be angry, because if you are angry, this is a sign that you are losing in negotiating. What are the main skills? Define a range of objectives. Never enter a room of negotiation without options. If you have only one option, don't negotiate. You are losing for sure. So I have scenario A, scenario B, scenario C. I have lots of options in my pocket, in my mind, before I negotiate. So have a range of objectives. By this, you are flexible to negotiate rather than to be stuck to one solution or one objective. See the wide range of options, the possibilities, and define the priorities of situations. So I will accept this. If no, I may accept this, but this will never be accepted. So they said always define the following. Define what we mentioned, that I will give them. I will give them. This is that you will give in situation. Things that I will red line. Red line, I will never give this in negotiation. So define your red line, because if we reach red line and we give the other situation, we are losing actually once we reach the red line, and sometimes this will affect your situation. And there is the situations where I will go for give and take. So to summarize, any situation in negotiation needs patience. All people can be negotiated. Each situation can be negotiated, but there are situations never go through negotiation. And we'll continue in the second episode about all these issues. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.